last night we had a rain, and it apparently was a lot worse than I thought, because now I'm in my yard and I've got all kinds of crazy shit that happened. This hive is my builder hive, and I have 16 cells in there. This lid was off, and I thought, okay, that's the worst of it. One lid blew off, no big deal. Nope. That's a nuke. It knocked over, blew the lid off. Knocked over that nuke. Lid off. Lid off. I've never had lids off. Lid off. This was not a tornado. Well, it may have been a tornado here. These ones are okay. Broke my lid as it fell, because it's hardy board. And come back. Another lid off. So I don't know when the lid went off, as it rained still more, or what. More off. Lid off. This one also had a lid off, even though there's a lid in the front. That was something else. The box. And it blew my stuff into the swamp. An alligator swamp. I don't know how I'm going to get that out. But blew it into the swamp. Not sure where that... Oh, there's another one. Yikes. There's the lid in there. That's what it looks like. Yikes. Freaking. Yep. There's another lid in there. I have never had this problem before. But this was a shear, I guess. So this lid blew off and made it to the swamp. 20, 30 feet. Another one blew off into the swamp. Let's see. These girls are okay. Not just the ones with the foil, but the foil didn't help. Now I gotta pick everything up and see what happens, and check all my other yards. Nice. So this is one. I'm gonna have to put her back together. And quite a sheer wind, I guess. This lid's completely broke. Anybody that has lids, I can put them back on. Thank God I've had lids prepped. I just have to keep their numbers. Sorry. Huh. Well. And here's another one. This is basically the same yard, just a slightly lower yard. I'm not sure what's happening there, but no lids off. Same lids. Same type of nuke structures. Must have been a shear. I don't see anything off. I had boxes over there in the... No problems. And I even had some nukes out for pickup that apparently went very well. That's how easily a wind can pick and choose where to go. I have one more yard to check. This is my mating yard, and while we have a bunch of water, I am in a swamp. That's why everyone's up, but no lids have been removed by the wind, and I have just as many crazy configurations as possible here. No bricks moved. On the hill, the bricks were thrown as well. So it was just some sheer wind. But I do have, let's see how deep we got. 4 inches of water. Woo. As long as I don't run into any snakes, I'm cool with it. So I'm going to get back to my work, and I thought that was interesting, and everybody might, you'll take it as you will. You can strap your hives. I think the wind would have still knocked over hives, maybe not broke them apart. I'm still going to use my lids. This is a one-off, unless of course climate change makes it every other day. This season is still very odd for me. I've had freezes, I've had cool weather. The bees aren't building as quickly as normal, and it may be just the change. Not something anyone wants to see, but during a dearth, they're gonna kill those drones and take them out. Usually my dearth happens in July through August maybe. This is way too early for a dearth. That's all dead drones. She had a grid spring. She thought she could maintain them. She can't. This is insane. Look at all the undertakers taking out the bees. Doing the best they can, carrying them out. They want to maintain their stores. I'm in a dearth. A dearth when there shouldn't be a dearth. I think this year we had stuff bloom that was way too early. And then on top of it I had a freeze, which I've said before. This is the popcorn tree, or Chinese tallow, and it should be leafed out very big. I have a couple of trees that are leafed to where they're supposed to be. Like this one up top. But this one, these ones down low, they got froze back. And they're just now coming out again. Small leaves, and they actually look a little bit dwarfed. So in a dearth, that means the nectar flow isn't there. My flow, I should be pulling, I should be racing to put supers on. And I have supers on when it started, and everything just stopped. Look here. I'm sure at first glance this looks like a dead hive. And yet what it is, if you look closer, it's all dead drones. We had a great spring. They could produce 1 million drones. And I do believe this is the hive killing them. They cannot and will not put up with drones doing nothing in there. It's even to the point where it's not worth their time even for mating. And this isn't the first hive. I have another big hive here. This is an older pile. Again, all drones. These hives did great. I don't mind the drones because I do queen rearing. But it's shocking to come across these piles of dead bees and think, what the heck is that? But when you look through and they're all drones, that's the only thing I can come up with. The racemes of the Chinese tallow popcorn tree should be bigger than my hand. And what I do see out there, some of the trees that didn't get hit so hard, the racemes are maybe half the size. So yeah, there's a little bit of a raceme out there, but a huge portion of the trees, like these ones, they're just froze back. And some of them got froze back on parts of the trees and not others. See those leaves in the middle of this tree? If they were this one here, ow, what the heck, man? And ooh, that stunk too. So here's another popcorn tree. She's leafed, but there's no raceme. This is like a crazy season. And there's one back up in there. If I can focus in there. See those racemes? That's what I need. So, dearth puts everything on hold. I think this is another pile of dead drones. Yeah. This one I have to go into. It looks a little of both, like maybe there's a fight. But this is unprecedented in my apiary. Dead piles of dead drones. That looks like a worker there. This one may be a little bit different. I think this one got hit by an animal. The trap was knocked off at once, and maybe they came out to go to the animal. But, however, my queen rearing has been put on hold because I don't want to just constantly feed when they should be taking in honey, and it should be a plentiful time. They do best, they will accept your grafts best when there's a flow on. Can you do it without it? Yeah, probably, but you're feeding like crazy. And if you watch some of my other videos, there's some science to the fact that, you know, sugar may not help the length of the life of at least the workers, so why wouldn't it affect the queens? I just thought you might want to look and see what's happening. I did in my nukes. I have to feed my nukes now because there's the small ones just can't do it. The other day I found a nuke. She was very light, and what they do is they hang on the bottom of the frames, and they're really, really lazy, and they won't even go up into the frame. She may lay a few things. So if there's a dearth, the queen can't lay because there's not enough foods coming in. I should be seeing pollen going in like crazy, and those frames should be filling up. So I gave this nuke, this particular nuke, 2 frames capped honey that I had set aside somewhere. Today, I think it's been, I don't even think it's been a week, and she's completely finished those 2 frames. So the feeding will continue until at least the popcorn begins to go back, but I may be, for the biggest part of my flow, another month. It's crazy this year, just crazy. The other day, I came out to my yard and I had some boar sign, some digging, and that's kind of normal out here. They've gotten to where they come out, they dig around, they don't really bother my yard too much, and so I don't bother with them. People around here hunt them. I don't know much about them except that they like to dig. So that wasn't so bad. Small area, and that's what they usually do. Today, I came out and I found huge areas. This was a small patch. Today, it's a 20 by 20 area, easy, maybe bigger. I'm not good at measurements offhand like that. It's completely turned over, and it was just like right what's behind it. It's basically a goldenrod patch, and it's just completely, you can see way back there, all the way to the back, just dug up, dug up, dug up. And then I go to the middle, and they've been in the middle now. This is where I drive. Generally, they kind of stay off to the sides. Nope. They are digging, digging, digging. They're crazy, crazy diggers. There must have been a pack of them. Herd of them. And then I go up to where my mated girls are, and they did make it up here. There's a little bit of digging. They didn't close close. I've never had a hive knocked over. A little bit over there. So then I have to take a walk out to where my girls that are virgins or just newly mated are. And boom, here they are, digging like mad. These things are fully a foot deep. I'll put my foot down in there. Look at that. They've dug like a foot deep down. It's crazy. I think, oh good. They're just on the pathway now. A little bit. Then I see this mess. And here, they've moved my pallet completely. They didn't dump her. Thank God I have them stapled down. But they must have got a snout full of bees with this one. But I don't think it deters them, because they're all over the place. Out, they dig right through, all the way up my pathway. Makes it really hard to walk. There they are again, right next to a hive. I mean, they dug this place so completely, I can't even imagine that they would have anything to come back to. But I think that means that they're definitely coming back right up against the edges. I can't imagine that they weren't getting just stung like crazy with all the movement. That was the only hive that really got knocked. Oh, here we go. Look at this. And then right into the field, which was definitely, bigger. All the way around. And their little hoof prints. There's their hoof print. I guess coastal boar are smaller. Just absolutely gone mad here. Oh, even over there. So, just an update on my yard. My trials and tribulations are continuing. This year tends to be late freezes, then wind knocking over hives. My main flow is put off by at least a month, I think. I'm now in a dearth. Everybody is just existing, so I'm on feeding on my nukes and mating nukes, because otherwise they would be absconding or just dying. So I don't know what this year is. On the surface of it, it looks like it's a beautiful, you can see behind me, oh yeah, everything looks fine there, everything looks great. No, it's not. It's certainly not. And I mean, the pigs don't have anything to do with the weather, but maybe it does. I don't know. Anyway, that's an update for you. Trials and tribulations of being on the bayou and trying to keep bees. Happy beekeeping. So until next time, happy beekeeping. Stay safe. I hope your apiaries are overflowing with honey. Happy beekeeping.